Whoever has done any type of strength training, if you jump into the maximum amount of weight that you can think you can possibly lift or that you've lifted in the past, you're going to hurt yourself.
Can you introduce yourself and what we're doing?
Oh, so sorry. We just jumped right into recording. Baltazar Villanueva with Relentless Spirit Fitness and Nutrition, and this is your Midday Fitness Live with KUHS. So I am here with my client, Josue, and we are currently working on building some strength.
Oh, it's not. I thought you were going to have edits, but it's not.
No edits.
It is, or is it?
No edits. It's live.
Oh, okay.
She just jumped straight into stuff.
So what's the
So,
class?
so
She
we're
just jumped straight.
we're just getting ready for our workout. So we're gonna act like nothing is, no one's even recording.
Well, you're not. Baltazar still has to explain what you're.
So you're doing 4 reps. So what you do is usually you want to do some type of warm up, and a warm up doesn't mean that you have to jump on the treadmill and do stuff like that. Essentially, what we're trying to do is we're taking the first exercise, which is always a compound movement. The reason why the compound movement, meaning multiple joints that working at one time, is because you want to be able to put the maximum effort into the biggest bang for your buck. So like what Josue and I are doing right now is we're working on his lower body. And then we're going to get into his favorite exercise, which is going to be his bench press. So I've never had a client that I've been more annoyed with in the past before because he's simply stronger than me. So
Like one exercise.
in one exercise, but it's like the exercise that most guys are like proud of. And so, like, when you talk to guys, it's always like, oh, you lift? What do you bench? So that's always like, oh, you took our clips. We're not there yet. But it's always the exercise that guys are like, oh, well, what do you bench? It's kind of like, the standard of everything. Squat, bench, squat, and deadlift. So, but like the squat, like most guys, and actually when we first started working out, like Oscar was always more into the bench, and then we got into squat and deadlift, and he's gotten a lot stronger since then. But like usually guys who don't work on their lower body tend to have a weaker upper body still, because most guys don't know that the stronger your lower body is, the stronger your upper body can be because of how you can push into the ground. Support. So now he's going to do one just to kind of get his body ready for the workload. So again, like you wouldn't want to just jump straight into what you're actually going to do because you can hurt yourself that way. But this is going to give him the opportunity to let his CNS, his central nervous system, kind of click into gear and say, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing right now. So when you're ready. Nice. Nice. And then if you want, we can do 4 more. So we're going to be doing strength training specifically. So we're only doing 5 sets of 5 reps. And so what most people are used to doing when it comes to working out in the gym is doing anywhere from like 10 to 12. 10 to 12 repetitions. So usually you do that many repetitions. Let me start my timer real quick.
Double rest time?
Yeah. So usually when you're doing that amount of repetitions, 10 to 12, you're working on building muscle. Except for you aren't necessarily guaranteed that Josue or anyone would be able to would necessarily be able to do that specific amount of weight when it comes to working out. Wouldn't necessarily be able to do that same amount of reps. So like he might be doing 315 right now for 5 reps, but there's no guarantee that he'd be able to do that for say 10 to 12. So as his strength builds up in this aspect later on, when he starts to do more reps with lighter weight, he'll be able to push that number up a little bit higher. So that's essentially what you're trying to do. Is you should be jumping back and forth, teetering from building strength to building muscle to building strength to building muscle, and all at the same time working on your mobility, the ability to simply be able to function by going all the way down, coming all the way up without necessarily rocking your feet forward or allowing your knees to concave in toward each other. Like those are just fundamental things that at any age you really want to be focusing on. And so like right now we're taking a 2-minute rest period because I want him to be able to do this again. So like in your typical like classes that most women go to, it's kind of like cardio with weights, is that it's very fast, it's very quick, there's very little rest time in between. and that's because you're trying to constantly keep the heart rate elevated. It's not what we're trying to do here. What we're trying to do right now is we're trying to cause these spikes in his heart rate. So every time we create a spike in there, that is the body saying, I'm not getting enough oxygen to my muscle to continue to push this. I need to use a different fuel source. And in this instance, we're trying to use the glycogen, i.e. the carbohydrates that you eat on a daily basis, in the muscle to fuel the workout. So this way, when we're done, you can go have something else to eat and you can replenish those carbohydrates that we used.
What are you gonna have to eat? I'll ask him because I don't know if the bank picked that up.
I don't know yet. We'll see. Depends on how tired I am.
Yeah. So, and that honestly is the, go ahead and you can do your next set. That's honestly the response I get from a lot of clients. Like, I don't know yet, because a lot of them that I work with tend to be busy professionals. Like, they're always working, they're on the go from one meeting to the next. He happens to be able to take out some time today to come and see me, and that's how we usually do it. So, like, his next meeting could be a business meeting, could be a lunch meeting, it could be something along those lines. So yeah, it's kind of hard to say. But the biggest thing, one, that we try to focus on all the time is making sure that he's getting enough protein in his diet in order to repair and to recover from what he's doing in there. One more. Very nice. So essentially what we're trying to do when it comes to his workouts is how long we can do that.
Greetings, everyone. We're glad that you joined us today. As you watch and learn, please remember that KUHS is an interactive platform, and we encourage you to engage at every level so that, number one, we know that you're appreciating the content that you currently enjoy, and number two, your feedback will help expand, grow, and improve our future programs. Again, thanks for being here.
I don't know.
You want to do 275 to start off?
Yeah, we can do what, another 10 or 25?
I was thinking 25. It's because I know you're strong enough. All right, you let me know when you're ready. All right, so Baltazar Villanueva with KUHS back from our break. Got Josue set up on his bench press. So he's doing 275 right now. I actually did bench this morning myself, and I'm recovering. I actually have a torn or partially torn pec. I did that by fucking up when I was trying to do that 315 challenge, and I wasn't ready for it. So that's why you don't do stupid stuff and you don't lift with your ego, because injuries happen that way. But Josue is doing 275. I did 255 this morning, so he's instantly already stronger than me in that aspect. So when you are ready, 5 reps, 275. Key things that you want to keep in mind, and this is what I was saying earlier about having a good, strong lower body, is that his feet want to maintain contact with the ground, and that allows him to push into the floor, and that he's going to be able to lift more weight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. And so something that we were talking about during the break is like the refueling part, the nutritional aspect of it. And so like things to stick with and things to get away from. So by all means, if you're able to meal prep on a Sunday, even if it takes an hour or two, if that saves you 30, 40, 50 minutes every night just because you spent a couple hours doing it on a Sunday, it's well worth your time. It's less stress on your mind. It's something that you know what's in the food. So like Josue at his size, he already knows that he needs to be eating at least 50 grams of protein every time he has a meal in order for him to hit his goal. Because essentially that's what I aim for too. If he does that, he's gonna do solid. Women, when you're doing this, you need to be hitting at least 30 grams of protein every meal in order to hit a specific goal. General recommendation, I hear it across the board all the time. I'm actually kind of annoyed with it by now. Most of the time you'll hear anywhere from 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound, and which you want to be desired. So unless you bust out your calculator right now and you're like, okay, 0.8 times 200, that's how much I'm supposed to be having. Just simply go with 1 gram. It's an overkill in some ways, but if you think of it this way, everything, and this is going to come back to when we do food labels later too, is that everything has protein in it, right? You eat bread and you see that it has 5 grams of protein. You're like, oh, great. This is 10 grams of protein with 2 slices. I'm going to hit what I need to do. And that's frankly not true, because that protein in that bread is not a complete source of protein. So now what you're actually getting is you're getting an insufficient amount. And we'll get into that here after the next break. But you basically want to be making sure that you're eating whole foods and you're getting whole sources of protein in order to hit or achieve those goals, in order to be able to build up from that position. So with that being said, what are some options you think you're going to have today for lunch?
I mean, usually after workouts, I want to eat something healthy. So probably a Caesar salad with extra chicken.
I knew you were going to say that too. It's always a chicken salad. That's his go-to.
Easy to go.
Which
to
isn't,
meal with,
yeah,
you know,
which isn't too bad. And so I would say do the chicken Caesar salad as long as you get like 2 orders of chicken on it, because most of the time if you get it from the store, you're getting about 3 ounces of cooked chicken, which is equivalent to about 4 ounces of uncooked chicken. So for your guy your size, you need to be having at least 2 servings worth of chicken on it. And that will help you hit your goal.
What's a good way to add the protein shakes in between your meals to not overcompensate or
That's a good question.
replace your meals?
They're essentially bridges. So like a snack, a good healthy snack is going to be somewhere around 200 calories with 1 gram of protein per 10 calories. So if I'm saying you have a 200 calorie snack, you should be getting at least 20 grams of protein. If it's something where you're having like 350 calories and you're only getting like 18 to 20 grams of protein, it's not worth it. Like the ratio is way too far off. And then once you start pushing into that 300 plus, that's essentially becoming a meal replacement. So if I'm telling you, you got to have 50 grams of protein per meal, and you do a meal replacement of around 350 calories and you're only getting 20 grams of protein, you're not going to be hitting your goal for that day if you want to stay in that deficit to lose weight. All right, I'm ready for you. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nicely done, nicely done. All right.
Good. Good, good.
So to go back to the calorie deficit, and I have, well, you and I actually have discussed this too when I was talking about an article that I wrote on my website for gamifying nutrition, right? Like, let's make it super simple. Let's turn it into game. Like everything nowadays, like if people can relate it to a game, most likely people are going to want to do it, and it's going to be easier to do. So like I look at food and I simply look at the numbers of what I want to eat, and then I plug it in, I fit it like Tetris in that way. And then once I'm in that position, I say, cool, this is what I can have. I can have a pizza for dinner tonight, which I am going to have, by the way. I'm going to do some breakfast sandwiches that I have left over from yesterday for lunch. So that's going to be my lunch today. And this morning I did a bowl of Magic Spoon cereal with a protein shake and a banana. And so I got 60 grams from that one. I'm going to get roughly about 60 grams of protein from my lunch this afternoon. And then I'm going to get another 50 from dinner. So if you do 60, that's 120 plus 50, that puts me at 170 grams of protein. So I'm actually short if I want to hit my protein goal at being at 200 grams a day. So that means I'm going to have a couple snacks here and there. So I'm going to do 2 snacks. That's going to keep me under 400 calories for 40 grams of protein. And by the end of the day, I'm going to be around 3,000 calories to hit my goal to stay at 200 pounds. That's simple. I don't have to eat 1,800 or less in order to maintain 200 pounds. I need to eat 3,000. And if I truly wanted to push it up higher, I could slowly start to build my metabolism faster to where I could have anywhere from 3,500 to 4,000 calories, but I don't want that grocery bill, because right now groceries are expensive and I don't need to be spending $800 or $1,000 where I'm already spending $600. in that aspect. So I'm cool at 3,000 calories a day. All right, here we go. So round 4. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very nice. Very nice. Very strong.
Very nice.
All right, your last set's coming up. Stay or go up? So this is where I'm a pusher, right? Like this is where I got to push him to his next limit.
It's 10 and 10.
10, 10.
Yeah.
10 and 10? Okay. So this will be 295 for 5 reps. And he's done more than this, by the way. He's not showing off today. He's gone all the way up to 315, which if you don't know what 315 looks like, it's 345s on each side plus the bar. So most of the time when people are like, how do you do gym math? Because it doesn't always look right, is each plate is 45 pounds. You put one on each side, multiply it at that point, and that's how you get 135, 225, 315, 405 when you're playing with the big wheels in that way. But most of the time people are like, that doesn't look like it's 405 pounds. The bar itself is also 45 pounds. So you got to keep that in mind as you're doing that. I would generally say like this is a men's bar, but I train all of my women with this bar too. There are other bars though that you can utilize. Like this one's a women's bar at 33 pounds. Honestly, unless you're older and that we're trying to protect something like say a shoulder or your chest, I'm going to train you with the regular bar because honestly, women are pretty strong too. There's no reason why they couldn't do that. So.
Do you want to ask one of the questions she had earlier?
Oh, thank you for reminding me. Okay, so you and I have worked together for a long period of time, and one of the biggest things I think we have achieved is more strength. What is your ultimate goal?
I think it's strength all the way across the board, not just bench.
Yeah.
Because like you mentioned earlier, I mean, that's one of my favorite workouts, which is easier because I do it more often, you know, but now doing squats, bench, deadlift, heavy lifting on all those balances out my whole body, not just parts of it. So I think that's important. And ultimate goal, I mean, continue raising my maxes. Ideally, that just shows more strength. So I think that's, as long as we're doing that, I'm happy, which, you know, continuing to push me on the reps and the amount of weight I'm pushing is part of that growth that we've had since the beginning.
Yeah, the performance aspect is definitely there. Like you are definitely way stronger than when we first started, and the same way too, like your entire body overall is a lot stronger than you were when we first started too. So yeah, it's pretty good to see. All right, here we go. 295. Two, 3, 4, and 5. Very nice. That's big boy weight right there.
Looks a lot easier than it really is. You're next.
Not bad. All right, our last exercise is your barbell row. So we'll have to clear a lot of weight for this one. Thank you. So we can. So thank you for joining us today. Next topic that we'll be covering is, again, going back to supplements. And I really want to touch on the point too with trying to get people to incorporate more whole foods into their diet. versus using supplements to help hit your goals. Because most of the time, if you look around, how long has it been that you've been doing that protein shake for breakfast, and yet you're still looking to make weight loss or strength gains or build more muscle? So we're going to get into that. And if you truly are having trouble trying to hit your protein goal and to be in a calorie deficit and get stronger at the gym at the same time, please reach out. I work with clients on a daily basis to do things just like this. And if you need the accountability, I have a coaching app that I use with all of my clients that they report to me. And this way we can keep the accountability going even when they're not with me in person. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.